Hey everyone, today is Tuesday, the 11th of October. I've been trying to develop a Star Wars game for my friends to play tonight. I want it to be kind of a multi-session adventure. The issue is, you know, there are break points here and there. Uh, but we pretty much play every week on Tuesday. And it's just the three of us, so I'm running my two friends who are Mandalorians through pretty much a weekly adventure. Um, but right now I'm having trouble coming up with something specific for tonight that might lead on into the future. They're reaching a dangerous point in the game where basically they've got a lot of power at their disposal, but not too much. And they have a lot of access to things, but not too much. And this is where it can go wrong, or it can, by going wrong I mean like I could accidentally give them too much stuff, or I could uh, the game could stagnate because I run out of ideas, things like that. So I'm very concerned about this. But I was designing a dungeon last night, so I kind of have a floor plan in mind uh, for them to go into and get back out of, and blah 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 blah. But really, I don't know what enemies to throw against them. I don't know the enemy's motivation necessarily. Why are my players going to this place? What are they going to do there? How are they going to get back out? Is there a problem with getting into the place? Is there a problem with getting out of the place? Uh, what happens if they get shot down? Things like that. And a lot of these things I plan in the background, like back in my head, things where like, oh, I'll handle it if they get shot down or something, or I'll handle it if they wind up killing the target. Things like that. And I think I'm gonna have to pull a page from Shadowrun and give them an assignment from what is it? Do they call him a Mr. Jones or a Jones or a Smith or something like that? I can't remember how it works. I know it's very similar to prostitution in that they reference everyone who hires a prostitute as a John. But I mean, okay, ignore the prostitution thing. But still, the, the I'm having trouble coming up with where the mission's coming from and the context for this facility. Now, I've already narrowed it down to a few things, and I'm trying to be vague enough here in case my players watch this, which actually neither of them are going to see this before the game happens, so it really doesn't matter. Okay, so the facility is Imperial, and in fact, I decided to make the landing platform on the facility be like the Imperial insignia. So it's got it has 6 prongs and a circular center, and each of the 6 prongs is a landing platform, and between each of those is an anti-air turret, if you will. And each anti-air turret has it can't descend below 20 degrees, and it has an ascension of 50, and it can't go another 20 above that. So there's like this 50-degree cone where it can go up and down, but it has 360-degree, directionality. And, I did it that way because the terrain is kind of rocky, and there's no point in shooting level if it's just going to wind up shooting into a rock, or the facility itself. And I didn't want it to go vertical because that doesn't make any sense. See, I put some thought into these turrets. But anyways, the turrets aren't the issue. Like, say my characters land at the facility. They go into this facility. There's a massive cargo lift in the middle, and personnel lifts, for people, just a little way away from that. And they descend to the facility. The first level is the cargo facility, where, large parcels are dropped off on the landing platform, repulsor lift to the middle, lowered down, and then packed away. Below that is a workshop level that also has, the cargo lift goes the entire length of the facility. The personnel lifts go the entire length of the facility. So, I mean, it's not a problem there. So you have the workshop level, workstations and all that stuff for whatever the hell this facility does. What it does doesn't really matter. I could say experimental blaster technology. Sure, why not? Um, and then the next level down is the dormitories, the mess hall, lounge, things like that. And then a level below that are offices, R and well, not R&D, but you know, because development is up higher. But it's more like research. It's theory and you know things like that. There's no tangibles on that level. There's just basically offices with computers. Um, I didn't want to put in a cube farm that would seem too modern, if you get what I mean. And then the lowest level is the data core. And so you have where the lifts come in, you have a long hallway that has multiple blast doors that isolate the computer core off to the side. So if a bunker buster actually hits the building, it won't get to the data core because it's in this long corridor off to one side. And, you know, plenty of blast doors in between. And for a second, I flashed to that one scene from that Resident Evil movie where you had the commandos going through the hallway and get sliced up by the lasers, which, for the record, an eyeball hit by a laser does not slice and melt, it explodes. So that was stupid. And yes, I did not like the Resident Evil movie. I don't like horror. Eh. So I was thinking about doing defenses like that, but really, I think it would be easier just to institute gas chambers for knocking people out, because that's much more simpler, and, you know, cleanup is a jiff. You know, like a mop and water. uh, but I was going to have it so that they get all the way to the data core, they get whatever information they're coming for, and then on their way out, they encounter resistance. Like, for example, it's October, so I was trying to go for like a horror ambiance kind of thing, where as they descend through a facility, they find that the lighting is out, or there's emergency lighting, red lights, and flickering fluorescence and things like that. And there's a mess in the cargo bay where it looks like there's explosions and blood spatter, but no bodies up there. But as they go down through the workplace, people are dead at their stations, dismembered, things like that. You get farther down, the mess hall is literally a mess. With corpses and things like that. And then you get even further down in the office spaces. People are dead at their desks in the hallway, clawing their way out of their office spaces, what have you. But, you know, missing hands and heads and stuff like that. And, you know, find them in piles or what have you. I don't know. And then you get down into the data core, and it's immaculately white clean, running on the backup generator. And you know, go down the hallway. You have to deal with the gas hazards. And then you get through to the data core. You get what you need. An alarm goes off. Well, an alarm had been going off, but they hadn't been hearing it because damage to the facility. And so as they're leaving the data core, they have to deal with a squad of somebody. And that's where I hit a wall. Do I send in Imperials? Do I send in mercenaries? Do I create my own bad guy? I don't know what to do here necessarily. Who attacked this facility? Why did they attack this facility? Who owns the facility? The Empire, probably, sure. But who would the Empire send to clean up this top secret facility? I think I have an idea. Until next time.